freezing in Delhi. That's it.
Is it?
It's very, very cold. Now, don't say that you also love the cold. All Mumbai wala love the cold.
I love the cold.
Let's swap places. I would give anything to be in the tropics as of now.
Yeah, no, but I'm not jealous of you. It is lovely weather in Mumbai, and need a light jacket, and that's enough.
Yeah, I know. Mumbai weather, light jacket and stoles come out at 20 degrees. Well, anyways, you're freezing here at 9. So anyways, let's start. Great speaking to you, Arjun. Finally, how have the past 10 months been for you that we all have lived through and, globally?
I think it's just been a huge learning experience for all of us. I think the most important lesson I think we've learned is how insignificant we are. That one virus came and it has shut down the whole world and, put us in our places. And the reason being because of our carelessness towards planet. And it's a way, I've never seen blue skies in Mumbai. It was great to see that, to see stars in Mumbai. 25 years I've lived here, I've not seen that. And, so many birds chirping around. But at the same time, your freedom taken away with a little baby who's in my house, being paranoid and absolutely petrified, as to who can come in, who can't, things getting sanitized, us wearing masks, going onto a film set and not knowing what your crew members look like because they all have masks on their faces and you see their eyes, everybody's trying to talk or express through their eyes, which is something which one needs to get used to maybe, because what I could see was that there was a tremendous amount of pain, gratitude, relief. There were so many emotions in those eyes that you saw.
Yeah.
And at the same time, how significant we can be. And a great example of that, I would take one of my colleagues' names, Sonu Sood, how he came up there and stood there and helped so many people. So, huge learning experiences. One, which I take away from it is that we don't need as much as we think that we need.
True.
Constantly are taking. And I think it's time to give back if we want to leave a better planet for our generations to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. And now we're talking about nail polish. Now, it intrigued me when I heard the title nail polish. I actually thought it would be about women. What I see is four men actually. In black. 4 men in,
And only.
Yeah, playing legal eagles. So, I mean, when this came to you, were you also a little surprised? Like, it's called nail polish?
Yeah, this is the first question I asked Bugs, actually. So I'll tell you the story, how it unraveled. I was supposed to do Final Call 2 with Z5, and it's a much bigger production. So they said there's no way they'll be able to create a bubble. So they pushed that into 2021. And they said, but there's this amazing script, and we really want you to be the defense lawyer in it. It's being cast for. We just want your approval on this.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm stepping out of my house. I've been quarantined. Playing myself. I have a 1-year-old baby. There's no way I'm going in front of 200 people, crew or whatever, and expose myself like that. And then Bugs came onto a Zoom call, and he's a complete charmer, like and a purist, and just the passion that he's done this film with. When I saw it, I was like, okay, why did you call it nail polish? Okay, it's a courtroom drama or nail polish. Like, it's not. He's like, please read the script. And I promise you, when I started reading the script, Pooja, I couldn't put it down. I just couldn't put it down. It's one of the best screenplays I've read. Definitely. Okay. It keeps you hooked in there. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you questioning, yourself, the system. Everything, and then boom, there it was. Why he called it nail polish, and I had this big grin on my face. So that's how audiences should discover it.
Yeah, and I heard you also say this was one of your most challenging characters. I mean, honestly, because I've seen you play several characters that appear challenging then. So, I mean, how come this you've described as one of the most challenging?
Challenging because to play a lawyer can really throw you off, because you can either go really loud with it, and over the top, and or you can really underplay it. To find that right graph that you're going to be hitting it with it having the impact, and at the same time not be like me lord, none of that, or yelling or shouting or any of that, that for me was challenging, but they can become caricaturish because of
True,
that.
true.
And for that, what I told Bugs was that until unless we can't humanize a character, we don't see the human side of this character, which is there in the script. But I think we need to work on that a bit more, and figure out what makes him tick. Why does he do this? Where will he draw the line, or he won't? He won't draw the line. How ruthless can he get, and how much will he control? How this turn in this event of the case is going to affect him. We got to see him parallelly in his personal space as well, which is the beauty of the script. The script, you see these four people who are in court, okay, on a very, very, very tricky case, okay, a very captivating case, okay, and very intriguing case, but you also see them in their personal spaces. And in their personal spaces, each one is flawed and is different, and there's something or the other also going on with them. But every time they come onto into the courtroom, they have these masks on of the lawyer, and how they fight. So that for me was very interesting, and to explore Sid's personal side was actually what was the true challenge.
Awesome. And lately I've been seeing a lot of courtroom dramas being made. But for once, I actually thought that a courtroom had shifted to Twitter, because we have Twitter ki kacheri happening. That day is not far away when we'll be giving judgments on Twitter. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I don't think those cases are going. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad when you have so many people who we call trolls and we've named,
Yeah.
And they come out there, and I feel sorry for them, actually,
Yeah.
because the thing is, there's a reason, I guess, they do it. It is to feel maybe a little elated for a certain thing, but then that elation is going to be there for a little bit of time, and then you're going to go down again, and it's very fake, the whole thing. So it's very unhealthy for them. That's all I can say. It doesn't affect people, because people move on with their lives. People have got work to do. People have, time to spend with real people, and so that is not a place where you should. I don't spend that much time there, but I don't, and I don't get absorbed by it, and it doesn't affect me. It really doesn't.
But for somebody who's been in showbiz, I mean, I've asked this question to many people, like, your lives are so public that every day somebody will write anything. How do you keep your balance? Do you think it's getting worse over the years? When you started off, say 25 years ago, it was not that bad, because...
I mean, 25 years ago, if these guys had seen me, then I must have been in jail by I mean, I was working with Bobby on a film right now in Penthouse, and Bobby and I were like thick as thieves. That time, Barsat had just come out, and we used to work out together and hang out together and go out together. And I was like, thank God, no Twitter or Instagram or any of that at that point in time, because I just feel that the youth of today, the young actors of today, they kind of have lost, the fun elements of life. You are constantly under some kind of, being analyzed all the time. But I guess it has its pros and cons. I think it has more cons than pros. But
as of now,
the only way you can keep yourself sane is by knowing your own truth and not letting that get diluted. The rest, is just noise. And when the noise settles, it's always the truth that prevails. So
I agree with that.
That's the only way.
That's what they say, for our generation. Thank God there was no Google. Otherwise, there would have been records of all the stupid things we've done. That's exactly what you said.
So I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, youngsters do stupid things, and that's fine. It's part of growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just that these days, I mean, anyone can say anything about anyone, and it's become a kind of a negative universe, especially around the time that, the phase that we've all been through.
Yeah, but I think it's toxic. It's toxic for themselves. If you
Yeah,
can switch off from it and not
yeah,
get sucked into it, and if you don't make that your life, which it doesn't need to be, because
true.
God willing, we've got good lives, and uh, I mean, what you want to share, what I want to share through my social media platforms is positivity.
Absolutely.
Is hopefully being inspirational and be able to tell people what to do and what not to do through my own experiences. That
True,
and that hopefully could go out there and people would learn from that, and that's why it was created, not to.
true,
And everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's fine.
true,
And I
true.
guess as actors we've anyways got kind of thick skin, because even when your film releases or whatever releases, you are put under the scanner.
True,
So
true.
I guess it's part and parcel of our lives.
And I just said about being an actor, for somebody who's been in this industry where every Friday your future is determined, the box office, you could be written off one Friday, you could be the toast of the town one Friday. But now has come OTT. Do you think this is actually a welcome break? Because we do know the film industry has its limitations, you know how it works. So do you think this is, I mean, for you, are you enjoying this phase?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it's very refreshing, number one, because finally we're getting to do work which is allows you to express yourself with complete freedom, which you don't get when you are trying to do just a film, because of box office pressure, because of yeah, purely that actually. So what happens is that when you work only because you say, oh, this should be have more of a mass appeal, you are going to somewhere compromise with the content that you're creating. you
True,
know
true,
with OTT, what happens is that that is not an issue, so you are actually creating something purely out of passion, and because it's been greenlit and somebody believes in that. So you believe in that, so you go out there and you're doing your film purely on that level. So definitely the whole standard is going to rise, according to me, and not
true.
fall. It's going to be new, it's going to be different, and that's what one looks for, as opposed to it being predictable, as opposed to it being contrived, or extremely calculated, which kind of happens in the films that we tend to make. Now, this was inevitable. I think the pandemic coming in has just speeded up the process a bit,
True,
because people were
true,
stuck at home. So we had cable TV, you had VHSs, DVDs, Blu-rays, then cable TV suddenly came in, that became the new place to watch it, then became your set-top boxes where you got all the channels in there, and now you had OTT platforms, okay, which were
yeah,
apps which you downloaded, and they had this fantastic library of films to watch from all over the world. Uh,
true,
10 years ago, if you look back at Hollywood, you saw everybody said this is the golden period of writers and writing in Hollywood, which it was because of OTT. Suddenly there
true,
was this new platform, and there was this talent was unleashed on that platform, which just blew people's minds. I think India is
true,
reaching that phase now. So I think even
true,
what's going to happen is that it's going to translate even in the kind of films that we make, because now audiences which have got exposed to this kind of content is going to go into a cinema hall or a theater when they go to watch a film with a different headspace.
true, true,
They will,
true.
definitely. So I think it's great, and it will work parallelly. I have nothing against theaters. I love watching movies in theaters. I think that's the most romantic place to watch films.
True.
I
True.
mean, just the fact that you say, okay, I'm going to now go and buy a ticket for this one and I have to watch it in the theater. You get your popcorn, you get yourself cozy in a chair with hundreds of strangers all around you. Okay.
True.
And the lights dim and you're transported. Okay. And
True.
everybody laughs and cries and cheers and does everything together. So I think that's beautiful, and that should never go away. So,
Absolutely.
as long as they work parallelly together, I think it's a great time for all of us.
And for someone having been, and as I can call, the industry was always called a rat race. From fashion, also those times was extremely competitive when you began. There's been a whole lot of talk recently about nepotism, about favoritism. I'm sure everyone has encountered. What is the one change you want to see happening in the industry? Because they feel OTT might just append the star system also that everyone had become a slave of.
Ah, I mean, nepotism thing for me is very it's very like I don't know how to explain it. If my daughter tomorrow wants to become an actor,
True.
obviously I'm going to help her.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
True.
That's my job as a parent. So do I fail as a parent? Do I not encourage my daughter? My daughter does want to get into films. I'm telling you, this is my own experience. My advice to her is don't just jump into films. Go study films. That's what I'll do for you. Go
Hmm.
educate yourself. Go learn. So she's going to Met Film School in London.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. She is going to study. And now when she's studying it, she's like, wow, were told to write a script and this is what a screenplay is. So the knowledge that you can give them at that point in time, that's the advantage that we have. I learn a lot from her, from what she's telling me, because of the education that she's getting. So I don't think there's anything wrong in somebody from your own family wanting to come into films or not
It's a
come.
natural thing. Yeah, it's a natural thing.
It's not
But you were an
natural.
outsider when you came, yeah?
Yeah, so
You
it's
were
fine, and luckily, it took me a while. It took me a while to learn the ropes. It took me a while to, understand my craft, because at that time we didn't even have film schools or any place that we could go to. It was not normal to do that. Maybe in the West it was, but in India, not at all. So we really had to learn from, our instincts.
true,
And
true,
I
true.
think every actor has instincts. This is a great time, definitely with OTT and all of that coming in, is going to broaden a space. And I think if you're good at your work, nobody can hold you down. Nobody.
Absolutely. True.
And if you're dedicated and if you are persistent and you persevere with a true heart, nobody can pull you down. So you should
I
just not
agree.
give up. I don't think you should just give up. So forget all these arguments and all of that. There have been a lot of people out there who've entertained us, for many,
Mm,
many years, and families that have entertained us, and we should be thankful
absolutely.
for them. They've been big contributors in terms of making studios and, creating employment.
True.
So, and that's fine. I mean, hopefully one day you work with them. Sometimes you don't work with them. You make your own space and you work on your own. And you just can't give up on these kind of things and say, oh, it is so limited and it's so narrow minded. I don't think that that's true.
And lastly, when your daughters were young, you were working nonstop. Now, with the little one, you've had these 9 months to spend with him. Which is that one discovery you made about fatherhood that you didn't know earlier?
That they shit a lot.
Oh, well. Are you good with diapers? Changing diapers? Are you good with that?
Yeah, the diapers have come a long way. They're much nicer now. But no, it's too good. I mean, just too good. It's just been the best thing. I
True.
think he's such a joy. And babies are such a joy.
Yeah. Pure
Uh,
energy.
yeah, and my daughters have come and then loved with him, and
Sweet.
the way they all play together. It's just you feel. complete. You know, with
Awesome.
a nice, beautiful, young, clean energy in the house. There's nothing more beautiful than that.
Absolutely. Lovely chatting with you. All the very best for 2021. I just hope it brings
And
us
wish
good
you the
health, good
same
cheer and
as well.
fortune. Yeah.
Wish
And
you
we
the
shall
same
all
as
watch.
well.
Thank you so much. So we'll all watch Nail Polish and hope to meet you soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I want to tell you that it's going to be my celebratory film because I complete 20 years in the film
Awesome.
industry in
Awesome.
2021. So the best
Awesome.
way to celebrate it is with nail
So,
polish.
so how would you describe these 2 decades in the industry in one word?
Ah, I can't describe it in one word. It's impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
In one sentence.
A biography is coming.
Wow. But actually, what would your biography be titled? If you were to write yours, what would be the title?
My way.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arjun. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Pooja.